Welcome to ABC Interactive English. My name is Winnie.
And I'm Mike.
And today we are talking about zero waste living. Okay, there are many ways we can live a zero waste life. It's not as hard as people think. So for example, I read with an e-reader, so I'm not buying a lot of physical books as much as I want to. Or for example, when I go shopping for clothes now, I go to a thrift shop or a second-hand shop where they sell clothes that have already been worn, they wash it, but they give it a new life.
That is a great idea. Yeah, I don't do that much clothes shopping. I try to wear things as much as I can, and certainly that I'm gonna wear it for 2 weeks and then throw it away. No, I don't do that. I also try to reuse things as much as I can. If you come to my house in the kitchen, many of the things that I store food in might be old glass jars, old plastic bags, things like that. So that's a really good way. There's a lot of ways. If you look around your house, if you look at the things you regularly do and think about it a little bit, you'll be able to save things and use them again in other ways, maybe even creative ways. But I think it isn't that hard if you really put your mind to it.
I think a lot of people hear zero waste and they think, oh, I have to go completely, never use anything ever again. But actually, there are a lot of things at home that can be reused and little, tweaks and little changes to your life that, then you can say, hey, I try my best to live a zero waste life. Which brings us to our topic of the day, how to live a zero waste life, part 3.
That's right. We're gonna have an article today. We said goodbye to Brandon and Lauren yesterday, but the article will have some even better tips about how to help you cut down on the garbage you produce. Let's check it out.
More people live a zero-waste life now. They try to make as little garbage as possible, so they follow the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, recycle. The people reduce the amount of single-use plastic and paper. They buy fresh food with no plastic around it. They also get digital documents to save paper.
All right, so we are back with part 3 of how to live a zero-waste life. Let's get into our article and get some more good tips on how to live a very green lifestyle.
Right. More people live a zero-waste life now. They try to make as little garbage as possible. So they follow the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, recycle. And actually, when I was a kid, there was a famous Jack Johnson song called the 3 R's. And that's how they taught us about the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, recycle.
That's lovely, of course, because if you're reducing, reusing, and recycling, you will hopefully be making less garbage. Garbage is the stuff that you do not reduce, reuse, or recycle. It's the things that you don't want, the things you don't need, the things that smell bad, and you want to get them out of your house. Garbage can be all sorts of things, from the vegetables you chopped up to make your salad or bits of the vegetables you chopped up. It could be old papers, old clothes, old plastic bags and bottles and stuff like that. But a lot of those things, the plastic bags, the bottles, they can be recycled. But certain things, especially like food or something,
napkins,
you blow your nose.
Yeah.
No
you don't
one
want to
wants
reuse
that.
that.
I can't reuse that. That is garbage. So it's the stuff in the can. We also talk about it like we used the word trash the other day. Just that can. Put it in the garbage. What's in the garbage? Garbage is in the garbage, and I take it out to the dee-doo-dee-doo-dee-doo garbage truck. It's just stuff you don't want. It's garbage. Get it out. Back to the article. The people with a zero-waste life, the people reduce the amount of single-use plastic and paper. Yeah, this is the one we really want to get rid of. Single-use plastic and paper cannot be recycled or is not usually recycled. That means single-use plastic almost always ends up in the garbage where it stays for hundreds of years in the case of plastic.
Yep, exactly. There is a difference in plastics. There are some that you can reuse and are made specifically to be reused. But when we're talking about single use, sorry, you can't really reuse that. It's a lot thinner than the, more durable ones. But we are talking about paper, which is our noun, and that is something to write on, usually a sheet that is made from trees. I'm sure you guys at school are very familiar with paper because your homework might be in it, your textbook might be made from it, usually. But yes, so we're talking about, single-use plastic and paper.
Exactly right. Yeah, some of that paper, especially the stuff that food comes in, right? It's covered with a wax or plastic, a chemical. I think also printer paper, it's hard to recycle. So some paper, a lot of it can be recycled, but not all of it.
Right. So then the article continues. They buy fresh food with no plastic around it. They also get digital documents to save paper. So that is actually a really great way to, start your zero waste journey, which is instead of going to maybe a supermarket that uses a lot of plastic, go to a farmer's market because, packaging produce or packaging fruits and vegetables, that's a totally different process. So a lot of farmers, when they're selling their own potatoes or apples or whatever, they don't bother to wrap it up. So you're saving a lot of plastic packaging. You go there, you buy it directly from the farmer, and you put it in your cloth bag or whatever, reusable bag, and you're also supporting local farmers.
That's right. We're really lucky in Taiwan to have these traditional markets in the morning. Maybe there's one near your house. You can bring an old plastic bag, reuse an old bag, just always take it with you, or a cloth bag. And that's especially useful when buying fresh food. When we say fresh, we mean basically from a farm, right? It hasn't been processed, it hasn't been put in a plastic bag after going through a factory or in a jar
or put in a freezer
can or a freezer. It's basically picked out of the ground, washed, taken to a market, and then sold to people. Generally, when we say fresh food, we would be talking about fruits, vegetables, meat too, I guess you could also say. But of course, things like a can of soup or a jar of peas or something, you can't maybe get those in another place. But there are certain foods, fruits and vegetables, like we said, you can buy them in a traditional market. If something is fresh, that means it's from the earth, it's natural, and it's probably been picked in the very recent past. It hasn't been dried or had sugar or salt added to it to make it last longer. It's there, it's good to eat. If you leave it for a week, it might not be so good. So you might want to eat it when it's fresh. It's also most healthy when it's fresh too.
We also have this word document, which is our noun, and it basically means a copy of a written text. It could be physical or digital. Like we said, we're talking about paper. Something is written down on something. But nowadays we have computers, which is great. We can send a PDF. So that is still a document, but it's just not maybe, printed out anymore. So you could have a digital copy of your homework or your essay, and that way you don't have to print it out. You can just email it, and there goes, a piece of paper that you just saved.
Sounds good. That's another way we can do it. And of course, a lot of us are always carrying our computers or tablets or whatever with us. So yes, a lot of us don't need paper that much in our daily lives. Let's take a break, and then we'll be back.
Zero-waste people reuse food to feed animals and help plants grow. They reuse old things and give them new life. Last, they recycle. The less they waste, the less goes to landfills. The world needs more zero-waste people.
All right, we are back with our article filled with wonderful tips about how to live a zero-waste life. We've already heard some of the obvious ones that we all know: reduce, reuse, recycle, take your plastic to the market, don't buy stuff that comes in plastic if you can avoid it. Here's another bunch of ideas. It says zero-waste people reuse food to feed animals and help plants grow.
I do that.
Interesting. So we're not talking about feeding plastic to your plants.
No.
That would not be good. But yes, you can definitely reuse human food to feed certain animals. That's what we're talking about. When you feed something, you are basically giving food to an animal or to a person who probably can't get food on their own. When we think of people, it might be the actual physical act, like with a baby, of lifting that little spoon and open your mouth, open your mouth. Okay, here's a carrot. You're feeding the baby. You might also feed an old person if they're not strong enough to do it to themselves. But with animals, though, I'm not actually putting the food in my cat's mouth. I tried that once. I got bitten.
Didn't end well,
That wasn't a good idea. But I am opening the can, buying the can of food or bag, opening it, putting it down, giving it to them, allowing them to eat. But I am doing the giving of the food. I am feeding that cat. You have to be careful here, though, of course. Because cats, for example, have a very special kind of diet. You can't give cats vegetables. Dogs you can, but you have to be very careful about what kinds. I think, things like onions and chocolate are really bad for dogs.
Exactly. So when we're talking about feeding the food, we're not talking about like brand new things. We're talking about maybe in order to, reuse the food in a way that we're not wasting it, let's say we're making a stew and we're cutting the butt of a carrot. That might go to waste if we just put it in the trash, but instead, because my dog can eat it, he can just eat that piece instead of going in the garbage.
There you go.
Yeah. So continuing on, they reuse old things and give them new life. Last, they recycle. The less they waste, the less goes to landfills. Okay, so before we could even reach the landfills, let's try our best to recycle, reduce, reuse, blah, blah, blah. But, when you really do have garbage that really can't be reused, they go to a landfill. And our landfill is our noun, and it is a place where garbage is stored and buried at. Okay, so there are a lot of landfills on our planet Earth because these are pieces of garbage that, it will take years and years and years to break down and go back into the earth. If they even do, right?
Exactly. We also might call this the dump, D-U-M-P, a landfill, a dump. It's where all those garbage trucks go after they pick up your garbage in your part of the city. They all drive out somewhere near the city, but far enough away that people can't smell. They leave it there. The plastic can stay there for hundreds of years. Chemicals can go into the water underground and cause all sorts of problems for people who might drink that water. So big landfills create big problems. Let's have smaller landfills by creating very little waste. As we wrap it up, it says, the world, the planet, the earth that we all live on and need to be alive, the world needs more zero waste people.
And also the animals that live on the world.
Never mind the animals and the trees and the flowers and the plants and everything else. We need more zero waste people. We need less waste.
Yes.
Basically.
But don't worry, all of your zeros are still intact.
My zeros are fine.
Yes.
That's fantastic news. Thanks for joining us, guys. We hope you have a good time and some great success in being as environmentally friendly as you can in your daily activities. We know you can do it. Take care of yourselves.
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Take care of each other and the planet, and we'll see you soon.
More people live a zero-waste life now. They try to make as little garbage as possible, so they follow the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, recycle. The people reduce the amount of single-use plastic and paper. They buy fresh food with no plastic around it. They also get digital documents to save paper. Zero-waste people reuse food to feed animals and help plants grow. They reuse old things and give them new life. Last, they recycle. The less they waste, the less goes to landfills. The world needs more zero-waste people.
Hi, I'm Tina. 我们来看这一课的重点单字。第一个 garbage 名词垃圾。 Please remember to take out the garbage before it starts to smell. 请记得在垃圾开始发臭之前，把它们拿出去丢掉。下一个单字 paper， 名词纸。David used paper to make a star. David 用纸折成一个星星。下一个单字 fresh， 形容词，新鲜的。The bakery sells fresh bread every morning. 这家面包店每天早上卖新鲜的面包。最后一个单字 feed， 动词，喂。它的三态是 feed、fed、fed。Don't forget to feed our dog. 不要忘记喂我们的狗。接下来我们来看重点文法。第一个 make as little garbage as possible. 尽可能的减少制造的垃圾量。as 什么 as possible 表示尽可能的怎么样。Garbage 是一个不可数名词，前面可以用 little 少量的，或者是 much 多的来修饰。如果是可数名词，可以用 few 或 many 来修饰。我们来看看这个例句 ：Emily spent as little money as possible. Emily 尽可能的少花钱。下一个文法 ，an amount of something 什么的数量。Amount 用来指不可数名词的总量。我们来看看这个例句 ：It took a large amount of time to finish the report. 完成这份报告花了很多时间。最后一个文法 ，the less， 越少怎么样就越少怎么样。less 在这里是一个代名词。我们来看看这个例句 ：The less you practice, the less you improve. 你练习越少，就进步越少。以上就是这一课重点单字跟文法，我们下一课再见，拜拜。
Here's how to play. The host will be holding 3 cards. Each card will have 2 sentences containing a secret vocabulary word or phrase that has been replaced by the word bear. The host will read the sentences out loud for the contestants to guess. Whoever guesses first gets a point. The person with the most points wins. And you can play along too.
Hello, I'm Matt.
I'm Winnie.
I'm Steven.
Today we are playing Guess the Bear. So are you guys ready?
Yeah.
I'm ready to win.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I came to
a lot
play.
of confidence.
Challenge accepted.
All right, well, let's begin. Your first word is a noun, and it's one word. Okay, playing music gives Dan a lot of bear. Being able to help someone in need is my bear.
Joy, pride, happiness.
Is my pleasure.
Yes, Steven. So it was pleasure. Playing music gives Dan a lot of pleasure. Being able to help someone in need is my pleasure.
That didn't give me a lot of pleasure.
Wow.
But the next one will. The next one will.
Okay, your next one is a verb. A lot of people listen to music while they bear. Eric likes to exercise by bearing around the lake.
Run. Jog.
Yes, jog. Not
Are
run,
you
but
playing
jog.
this game?
All right, so it was a lot of people listen to music while they jog. Eric likes to exercise by jogging around the lake.
What happened to winning this one?
You know what? I just felt so bad for you, so I'm letting you. But this
Well,
next one is going to be mine.
The last one's 2 words, so
Okay.
maybe it's like 2 points.
No.
We'll see.
Okay,
We'll
I like
see.
that.
It's a phrase, 2 words. The horrible video really bared Sally's bear. The smell of rotten eggs bears everyone's bears.
Hurt feelings. Oh, sours your grapes. Grinds your gears. One more time.
The horrible video really bared Sally's bear. The smell of rotten eggs bears everyone's bear.
Ruins day. Ruins your day.
No, sorry.
Breaks hearts.
Hurts feelings. Ugh.
Hold on. It really sours
One
my
more time,
grapes.
one more time.
Okay, the horrible video really bared Sally's bear. The smell of rotten eggs bears everyone's bears.
Hurts your stomach.
It really
Stomach's your stomach.
grosses me out.
You got the second
Gross out.
word?
Hurts your stomach. Sours your stomach. Churns your stomach.
Yes!
Oh!
Okay, so it was the horrible video really turned Sally's stomach. The smell of rotten eggs turns everyone's stomachs.
You still win.
Still win.
But it was a good fight.